Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to bring you the news and the how to use the updated version of Blender tools. So the new version is available currently on beta.phlanka.com, but probably a week after this video it's going to be just on phlanka.com. This is just where you can access it early if you wanted to now. And if you have a license already, you can simply sign up to an account using your same email from phlanka.com, and it will present you with something like this on your dashboard. So legacy bundles or legacy licenses found. So I got one for the substance paint and I got one for the texture bundle. So what you do is you get the license key from your phlanka.com bundle. You just simply paste it in here and claim license, and then it will generate you one of these licenses. So this is what the Blender one will look like, the Pro bundle, because it's got all the tools on there. If you had more than one seat, so let's say if you had a device, if you had an extra device license, then it'd be called now member slot. So what you could do here is if you're sharing your license with someone before, you can now get them to register a new account, and then you can assign the slot to them so they get their own unique license key to use. So I'm going to copy this my license key anyway, and you can download the Blender version, download the zip here from for Blender. And if we go into Blender now, and can I drag this from here? I think I can. Just Alt Tab. Yeah, you can drag the zip into there, use a default, and then turn it on. Give it just a second to populate everything, and there we go. It'll say enter license key in this little pop-up thing that comes down here. So you can paste the license key I just copied and click activate. There you go, synchronizing. The materials are synced, and what that means is if you go to the beta website, if you click on materials, all these 1,899 textures are now available to just sync straight up with. There's download straight from the server. So they deliver via AWS. So the add-on size is tiny compared to like gigabytes of actual image data. So let's say I've got this only animated one I got at the minute, the matrix test, but let's just search in the add-on. Look, so if you want, oh wait, you need a model in there first. So I'll show you the materials real quick, just so you can just start searching for the string of the name, or search for COD. You'll get the Call of Duty Black Ops textures that I've added on there. I'm going to close that. Let's get the model imported first. So we go to File, Import. You now see there's a Phlanka P3D. So you can only import MLOD files, and for fucking legal reasons, I can't show you how to make an MLOD, but there is guides out there. So I'm going to use one that's already been MLODed, it's already been converted. So I'm going to import this, the Glock, and as you can see, it imports it, and it cleans it up already for you, which this bit here I think is just these little iron sights, which I don't really care too much for, so I'm going to delete them out of this model. But the Glock code.paa, and if you click on the model where the import cleaner used to be, it now shows you this. So it shows you the hidden selection tools. It guesses what the name could be. So it looks at the model, looks at the poly groups, this thing here, and it finds a poly group with the most number of faces, and it will estimate that that's the name of the hidden selection. So for this one, it's Zabitek. So for my sake and sanity, I'm just going to put Zabitek here. You don't have to do that, but let's just do that. So I'm going to rename this to Glock 19, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So with collection catalog before, you used to have to right click and save as collection, but now you don't. You go down to tools. Let me minimize the animate a minute. We're going to go to the collection catalog. So at the minute, I've got a Glock 19 collection that from here. So whatever this is named, you can select it from this list. And you click save. Where do I want to put it? I want to put this in DZ underscore or just DZ pistols, like that. So then you can save the animator settings, which I'm going to cancel that a minute. Actually, no, I'm going to just save it without any of them settings or materials, just the model itself. So now in your collections catalog, you can browse by the category. You can search for Glock. Obviously, I've only got one in there at the minute, but you click on it and it will show you what details are being saved. So it's literally just, there's no material saved, there's no animator settings. So if you filled all this in for the Glock previously, all this data, then when you save the collection catalog, it will save all this information in there as well. But if you don't have the animator, you can save the Baker settings, which is this. And we've got the advanced render settings as well. So you got that. You've got the, if I do RV map, it gives you more options for the RV mat as well. A couple of defaults in there. So let's just get to, I think I've covered everything. I think I covered it. There's so much going on. But I think I've covered everything. So let's get to skinning this and putting the decal on there. So, oh yeah, the decal works now again. So let's go to shading, just so I can see down here. Click on the model. I'm going to remove this material slot completely. Remove both material slots because I'm starting from fresh. So then you can search for here for, let's give it the one of the Call of Duty camos. Let's do the ruby snake one. So you just click on it, it shows you the bigger preview, click apply. It downloads it from the web server and it's applied to your gun. Applied to your clothing, applied to whatever the hell you want to apply it to. You got more controls over here so you can change it. I'll see a mission one, sorry, my bad. The color hue, you can change the hue of the color. Which I'm going to do in this one in a moment to animate this. But for now I'm quite happy with that. I might change the scale. So it's more snakified. So use advanced scaling because I think I need to change the Y. Yeah, the Y scale, that's a Y position, isn't it? Dumbass. Not you, you're not dumbass, I'm the dumbass. So I can change the scale of this to make it a bit better. So you can toggle that on and off. And I'm quite happy with them settings. It's got a little bit of roughness and whatnot. So now let's add a decal. So delete this, what you typed in here. Then click on this little icon here. That's for the decals. And you can browse. So it comes with a couple of default ones like the old add-on did. So your entertainment ones. Kind of shitty ones to be fair. Finance. So you can go page forward and page backwards up here on the top left. The PayPal one, there's Coinbase, blah, 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 and click back up here to go to the categories. But if you have your own images, you want to click on this folder icon here. It will open up this location. So then you can go to File, New Folder. I'm going to call this one Phlanka. I'm going to try to find, let me just pause this a second. I'm going to try, in fact, no, I can just skip the video and edit. I'm going to grab a picture real quick of my logo. If I have it anywhere. I actually don't think I have my logo anywhere. Oh, I got it. There we go. So copy, go back. So I copied it from my downloads folder. And I'm in my collections again. So I made Phlanka folder. I'm going to paste my image in there. Like so. There's also another thing. So one of my friends sent me something. Let me just grab it real quick. Actually, it should be in my downloads. Should be in here, like a little something I want to show you. Yeah, so the guy named Tuss from Discord sent me this video of his name just to test to see if I could get this working. So this is an MP4 video. I'm just gonna copy this. Where's copy? And oh, so go back. Go to this folder. I'm gonna paste my image and the video in there. Look, so you can see. So if I close these and then click refresh on here, it'll say the new category. Well, it won't say it, but there's a new category added, and it's called Phlanka. So we go in here. So we've got our image. Let's start with the image. Put it on. It's way too big at the minute, so you can press S on your keyboard and move your mouse left to make it smaller. And there's a box thing on here. Can you see the box shape? So what it does is it maps that decal to anything, any mesh that's inside that box, going from the angle that we're looking at it from. So if I put it up there and then extend the box, you can see more of the model becomes inside the box. It'd be probably better on this trigger well here, look. So you can see when I make it shallow and deeper. So I don't go through to the other side. So I could put that inside of there. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. R to rotate. And then the mouse wheel to control the depth. I'm just going to put that there. Like so. And then if I go to my decal manager, so the little arrow up there, decals, I have this decal here, so I can control the roughness of this one. Change the metallic of it. So I can make it really metallic one. So the bump soften. This is a new feature inside of Blender 5.0, so you can see it as like a really detailed depth around it. Or you can invert it as well, so it looks like it bumps in, like carved in. But that's a little bit too strong for me, that. So I'm going to lower it down a bit. It does look like it's carved into it. Yep, that's perfect. So I'm happy with that one. And if you don't like this black box, you can hide it. Or if I show it again, I can reposition. So then I can move it somewhere else. So then I'm going to rotate it again. Change the depth a little bit shallower because I don't want this to go through to the other side of the gun. And I'm going to hide the projector or show projector. And then let's do that video now. So Tusk sent me a video. And with his help, with his help, I managed to get this to work. So I click on the video. It's way too big at the minute, so I'll scale it down. S to scale. I'm going to change the depth as well so it doesn't cover the whole gun, just this side of the gun. And you're probably thinking, Phlanka, there's a big black box there. What am I going to do about that? Well, you can add masks now. So if you've got a JPEG image with a white background or black background, you can do Luma mask. So if I click that, as you can see, it blocks out all that black. And it's not perfect, so you can change the strength of this mask. Like so. Obviously, I don't want that to bump out. That's crazy. Bump distance. Bump strength. Like that. Just a little bit of bump. Yeah, so there's that. And this is a video. So if I go to my tools now, in the animator, I can set this to 30 FPS to 20 frame count, to 25 frame count, sorry. Set this to 25 as well. And if I press space, you'll see that the video is playing on the side of the gun. And that will bake out 25 frames of that Tusk name, which is pretty sick. But I'm going to try another video one day, not today. I might just keep this as is actually and make this as animated. And I'm going to, what was it? I'm going to try and do a green screen video because I think that'd be really cool. So it's only on this side of the gun at the moment because I don't really need anything on this side of the gun, do I? I'm quite happy with how that looks. Little animated Tusk gun. And I do want the normal to be flat. I don't like that too much. So like this, and the mask, make it a bit higher. Like so. We'll turn the emission strength up to 1 as well. And here on the emission, well, the strength is already set from the Ruby Snake, but I'll cancel that out and just set that to 1. So then even on nighttime now, it glows. And now let's talk about the decal layering actually. So let's hide the projector on that one. I'm going to add one more decal. I'll add this one again. So as you can see, it goes over the top of the Tusk one, like this. And also, you see the size of the box? You can see that it wraps all the way around to this side of the gun. That kind of looks cool, I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to do that. But let's say you want to put this decal behind the other one. So you find out which one it is by clicking show projector on them all. So that's the Tusk one. That one's already got the project. So it's up here. If I press down, let me zoom in on here first. So you can change the order of these by this down button and the up button. So as you can see, it goes on top of it now. Which I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool little feature. But the videos and the GIFs work as well in this decal pack. So I'm going on a tangent here. I don't know what I was meant to be showing else. I was meant to be showing something else maybe. Oh yeah, let's do multiple textures. So for, oh god, let's just say for this trigger well, I'll go to edit mode by pressing tab or selecting up here, edit mode. I'll select faces. And click on the trigger and press L. So I can select all this. Like so. And then if I go to materials, decals, sorry, materials, yeah. And search for, I don't know what to search for. Let's do a blue. I got the blue snake thing. Let's try and do a metal. Oh wait, not blue metal, but metal. Let's apply that one. You can see it's only applied to there, but if I go back into the edit mode thingy, you can see that there is really, really bumped out. So I'm going to turn the bump strength right down. Like so. I'm trying to scale as well a little bit. probably change the bump strength even more. That's a little bit too bumped out for my imagination. There we go. I'm going to undo the color and set this like a dark metal. I'm going to make it a green metal, or whatever color that is, teal. So I'm going to go orange, same as my logo. There you go. So that kind of looks cool, right? I'm happy with that. I'm going to try to animate this out now. So if this was just a static image, let's go over the Baker first, which is like the base tool. So the Baker, you simply select your folder path. I'm going to create a new one on my desktop. Tutorial. And I'm going to select this. I'm going to copy that just so I know where it is in a minute. And then select set bait path. It sets it up here. I'll do 1K images. Samples. That's how many thingies are sampled. Like how many. It's hard to explain. And in this Eevee thing here that cycles, like this is the samples here. So the higher the samples, the longer it takes, but the better quality it is. But for something small like this, you could probably get away with a 64. That's the default one, which is quite low, but it's good enough to use. So sample, I'm gonna do full margin. I'm gonna keep denoise on. I'm gonna bake out all of these just so I can get it all working correctly. The RV matte for the thing, I'm gonna use a car paint, I think. So car paint, I'm gonna just obviously crank this up. No, it seems pretty good. Them values seem pretty good. If the color doesn't seem too shiny enough on there, you could always turn it down to like a 0.8. I'm not going to do that right now, but we do have emissions, so I'm setting these all up to 1. So it gives it the full emissive power. Specular power for now. All that stuff's pulled from the car paint one. And now I can bake. Oh, an active object is needed to bake, so I'll click on the active object. And then I click bake. There you go. So now, I don't know if you can see it on OBS, but there's a percentage counter on your mouse cursor. That's the closest thing I could do without Blender looking like it's fully crashed. Because Blender was a problem with crashing when I was baking. So let's go to the tutorial folder. As you can see, these are the baked images. We've got our RV matte actually first. Let's have a look at this. All the values that we set before. At the moment, it's got the path to where we baked these images to. And let's just go for the images. So we've got our ambient shadows for the pistol. We've got our color. We've got our emissive. And we've got our no HQ. Which the no HQ is looking a hell of a lot better in this new version of the add-on. It doesn't come out all weird anymore. Then we've got our SMDI, which looks pretty sick. So there's them ones come out of the Baker. You can write your own config now if you wanted to, but if you was lazy like me, and you don't want to write your own config, oh, wait, I come up the wrong thing there. You'll use the animator. So I also, if you do have the animator and you mess around with these Baker settings, where's the Baker settings gone? DayZ texture Baker. So all these settings here, they should pass over to the animator. Let me just double check. So I'll go to the animator. Yeah, remember all the settings that you just had previously on the Baker. So you could do test bakes and then bake out an actual image. So let's have a look at this right now. It's only that bit there is animated. I might animate the color of the gun. So if I go to slot 1 material, that's this main one. And then bring up this little bit here in my window. So when you got the crosshair down here, bring it up. Click on that marble and go to timeline. As you can see, it's currently set to 25 FPS, frame count 25. So I've got 25 images. I'm going to try and lower this just to make this process a little bit quicker. I'm going to do 20 images at 10 FPS. If I do ping pong, what that should do is it should go to the end. Oh, I didn't press space. Yo, I don't know why it's not. I don't know what's happened there. That was a bad example. Let me try to do this real quick. So I'm going to do the color hue to 0, insert keyframe, and the color hue to 1, and then insert keyframe. So this should do some rainbow shit now. like that. And then this ping pong, it should play to the end and then back. That's something I'm gonna have to fix in a future update. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought that was working already, but apparently not. I'll lower the frame count a little bit because a little more of a smooth transition. There you go, that'll do. Right, so in the animator, we had the mod folder and all this stuff, which is it's just the mod folder, like the PBO folder. So I'm gonna call this one tutorial. Oh, wait, new tools tutorial. So that's the name of the PBO. The new class name, we're gonna call this one the Tust Glock. Original class name, I believe it is Glock 19, but you can get that from the gun config itself. So I've got on my P drive, DayZ, weapons, pistols, Glock 19. Where are you? Am I blind? Is it bleeding? Sorry, config. So Glock 19 is a pistol base, but this one here is a scope 0. So I'm just going to minimize this in my code editor so it's easier. So the next one down that uses this as a reference class, it's got a scope 2, so it's a Glock 19. So we're going to need all three of these right now. So the pistol base, the Glock 19 base. No, you don't need Glock 19 base, just pistol base. So I'm going to copy this Glock 19. I don't want to cut it because I'll break the code. Go back into Blender and put that as my original class. And then for this class names, let's go to the config again. If it falls under config vehicles, CFG weapons, sorry. Yeah, I'm blind. So you change this one to weapons, and then it says weapons and attachments. Oh, that's you'd think I'd never seen this tool before. I fucking wrote it, and I'm getting nervous because things are breaking on me right now. So I feel like I might have to remake the video. Anyway, that's just the information about this one. So if you go on here, it tells you like weapons and attachments, vehicles, props, and all that stuff. The next one down is a base class. So this is where you pick pistol base. It's already in there. But if it wasn't in there, you just type it in yourself, the custom one. Let me make this a bit bigger so you can see it. Does it let me pull it out? There you go. So yeah, you can do a custom base class, but the base class is the original DayZ class. So all guns and clothing have got different base classes, like clothing base, inventory base, and all that stuff. This is required for animated animated models, animated skins. Fucking hell. Pistol base. And then the display name, Tust Glock. Description, thanks to Tust for the video and GIF help. Yeah, that makes sense. Author is yourself. Yep, there we go. The mesh. So now we pick the mesh for the actual hidden selection names. Zubaytech. And luckily I named this one Zubaytech earlier, so I know exactly what it is. And then there's only one hidden selection, but if you need another one, you click add. Then you pick the model and the selection name. But I don't need that one. So the required add-ons, if you go back to the config again. So these are the two required add-ons. So I've already got DayZ data as a default. I'm going to copy the pistols one. Go into add-ons and click add add-on and paste that in there. So we've got all this stuff the same. For this one, I am going to lower this for the view of it. I like 0.8. I sound like Trump then when I said I don't want to do that ever again. And then emissives 1. Specular is probably a little bit too high. I'm going to do a 0.2. That's probably still a little bit too high, but it's okay. Let's do 500 for that. So that should be okay. And then you can save this Glock again with these settings. So if you go back to Glock, save, and then save animator settings and materials if you wanted to. Okay. And there you go, it's updated now. So you can see that the animator data is saved. So when you import it next time, when you apply it, it'll download it into your scene and it will autofill all this data out for you. So then all you have to really do is change your new class name and description and stuff. So you don't have to refill all this stuff in again. It's good if you get like a really good setting. So say if you want to turn this one down, then save it again, then new settings will be overridden. But only if you save it in the same location. So if I save this now as Block 19 in a different folder, then I'll have two different versions. So you could do that for certain clothing items, like if you want like a shiny clothing or a dull clothing, or I don't know. You can do stuff like that anyway. It's complicated one. It's a complicated one. So this preset, what I've just changed to 0.8, I'm gonna save this one as Phlanka's new Phlanka's shiny, and then save. So it's been saved. So I should see it. Did it say something about reloading? I think I need to reload to see it. Let me just see what that script said. Yeah, reload to see it in the list. So my preset is now saved anyway, so I could just save the preset. Let's get to generating this mod. I am still recording it. That's good. Right, so I'm gonna just do this in real time for you guys so you can see the speed. Actually, wait, not real time. Wait. Oh, wait. I want 2K. Samples, the noise, full margin. Yeah, that's fine. You can also do custom sizes, by the way. You go to custom. You can set the resolution of the width and the height. So for clothing items, for example, where you can have, it's like a rectangle rather than a square, you can set that. So you can just set the width to be 2K, the height to be 1K. But I'm going to do just a 2K square because the gun doesn't need an extra size, I don't think. Look at the UV. It wouldn't benefit anything from being longer or shorter, would it? No. So I'm going back to shading editing. And moment of truth, save. I don't need to save. I've saved it in my collection catalog, which is great. So I'm going to generate the mod. And it's at 0.11%. 0.11% still. So it's trying its best. I could go to that folder there and just double check. So it's creating it into a temp folder at the moment. It is generating the images. That's fine. So what it'll do after it's finished generating into the temp folder, it'll move it into the correct folder. Just so if something goes wrong, it doesn't override anything. I don't think you can override anything anyway. Like I said, there's a lot of things I need to iron out because when I wrote this, I was just looking at my old site add-on, my old side add-on on that screen, and then trying to implement them things into it, but making them better. But I remember skipping some things. Like I missed the clothing toggle for this not for required ones, for hidden selections. The option to add extra selection names to one mesh. So there's like one image baked out, goes across like three or so many more models. It goes across three or more hidden selection names, sorry. So you got like camo ground, camo female, and camo male. That's not in there at the minute because I skipped over that part. So that will be coming soon. It's just been a long ass video of me using the tools. I'm sorry if it's been hard to watch, but I just thought I'd help you guys out. That's the wrong folder. That's the original baked ones. Go to here, double check on the. Yeah, it could take a little while. As you can see, the normal maps are. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but these are proper normal maps. Nicely detailed ones. I don't know where the tusked text is. I can't tell because my screen. It looks good to me, but I can't remember where the actual UV selection is for the word tusked. Or did I flatten it? I think I flattened it, didn't I? That's probably why I can't find it. So it's there anyway. So on the notes, it should be around here. Yeah, I flattened it, so you won't see it on there. So we're currently on frame 3. Well, frame 4, because there's a 0 frame as well. I come out of this test temp folder, just so I don't bug out. Oh, that's not good. Blender don't want to stay open. There we go. So it's still generating the mod. It's probably because I'm recording and recording my webcam at the same time, which for some reason I got a 4070, but my webcam, as soon as it's on, it uses about fucking 40% of my GPU. I don't know what the fuck is going on with it. But when I got my webcam on, I can't play games. I don't know what's wrong with it, and I can't record clips properly either with my webcam on. But every now and then you see a little flicker down here, like 28%. So a 28% done of the 20 frames times the color, the no HQ, the EM, and the ambient shadows and the SMDI. So it's 5 images times 20. That's 100 images we're baking out. So it's not doing too bad. Not doing too bad at all. I am going to pause my recording, and then as soon as it's finished, I'm going to come back so you guys can see it. Just so I can give it a bit more leeway. So you can check the time anyway, like 31 minutes past. We'll see what it is when I get back. So I'm coming back to you now because we're almost finished. It is on. Let me just wait for this last little wheel thing to update. Normally shows a percentage after it updates. It was on like 90 odd percent when I unpaused it, I'm sure it was. There you go, 97.5%. So it's probably on like the last frame or so now. I could check in the folder. Actually, no. Come out of that folder again. I don't want to risk it. So, should be done soon. Minimize this. Right, can I click on Blender? Yeah, it's finished. It has finished. So if I go to the P drive again, into that folder, let's have a look. So now it's moved it into the Toast Glock folder. So look. Yep, we've got all our images. You can see the color changes as it goes through. So then we've also got the config, what it wrote out for us. Nice and clean. Perfect. And close that. Let's go to the script folder. So this is the animated script that got created. So it cycles through each image for each frame. Got the FPS and stuff set up here, frame time. So there's all that set. Everything's looking good. And this is where it uses the pistol base, by the way. Or Joe like uses the base DayZ class. So that's all set. I'm going to PBO project this now and give it a crunch. And hopefully there's no issues. New tools tutorial. Yeah. Crunch it. Give it a second. It's going to convert all the PNGs to PAAs for me. That's what this is doing. Come on. Come on. Take your time. You can close Blender now as well. You don't need to save the project. I'll show you what it does actually. So if I close this, don't save. If I go into Blender. Oh, that's finished by the way. I'd have seen it. Job completed. So we're gonna load that in just a second. As you can see, when you start it up, it automatically puts your license key in and verifies it again. It also check for new material. So every time I upload new material to the website, it will download it and synchronize it, so you can use it in search. So now instead of going to File, Open, I go to Tools, go to my Collections catalog. I've got my Glock already there because I've got all categories selected, but you can search for your one and click Apply. As you can see, all the information being filled in here. The gun's being imported. And it's still got the materials on that I put on there because I saved it with materials. You can save it without materials if it's easier for you, but it doesn't really do too much difference in size and stuff, but it remembers your settings. That's the main part. So I'm going to close this anyway. I'm going to close PBO project. Let me just open up Steam. So I'm logged in, so that's good. I can literally just start my DayZ server. Give it a second to load. Because in my PBO project, I set the output path to be my add-on on my Phlanka's test server. So that's set up. Let's load up DayZ. DayZ is loaded, so go to servers, LAN, Phlanka's test server. I'm going to join it. There you go. Set up DLCs and join. Allow. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're never getting into my test server. Mainly because it's local host only, but I don't know why I put a password on it. It's just something I'll mess around with the server config. But I've already forgot what I called the actual class. Is it Tust? Tust something, wasn't it? Shout out to Tust though. Honestly, dude, you're a lifesaver because this GIF and animated videos it was driving me insane. I couldn't get it to work correctly, and this guy, he sent me the source. He showed me how to do it, and big shout out to that guy. So if you start using GIFs and stuff, don't thank me for it. Thank Tust. But let's get into this. 10 seconds left. 10 seconds for me to crash the server because I've probably done something wrong in the config. I don't remember. But it should be pretty simple. I'm getting tired. I've been lacking sleep lately. I've been literally coding this for the last month. Like I've been doing the whole add-on again from the start to end. So it runs smoothly and stuff. What's this? Oh, that's the first animated texture I tried to test out. It worked, and I'm quite happy with that, so get rid of that. Change the bloody weather as well. I want to see daytime. Come on. Bruh, I give up. Item spawner. Tust clock. Double click. Didn't break the game. Loading the textures in real quick. There you go. Textures are loaded. And there you go. You got your animated gun looking all nice and clean. No weird gimmicks on the shininess of it. I could make that a little bit shinier, but I really like that. Also, do you like my Montclair jacket that I made? As a joke, but now I actually kind of like it. There you go. You can see the guns looking super detailed. And it was fucking easy to do. Obviously, this is just going to be a quick explaining the tools video. There is going to be way more detailed videos with actually proper, what do you call it? Proper structure to the videos. So it'll be like a guide video with actual thought gone into it, not just press and record and hoping for the best. I'll do some test runs before I record. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel because there's going to be loads of detailed tutorials coming soon, and also if there's any updates to the tools, I'll cover that thoroughly. This is just a quick video to get out there so you guys can start using the tools and start making shit look cool in the game. I mean, who doesn't want a Montclair bomber jacket and a shiny animated gun? So yeah, I've been Phlanka, and the tools are available on beta.phlanka.com until around about the 20th of the 1st, 2026. After that date, they'll just be on phlanka.com, but the beta.phlanka.com will still link to the main website just in case anyone's watching this video in the future. And if you are watching this in the future, make sure you subscribe and like, and check the channel because there'll be way more better videos than this one.